make you laugh, shows that make you think, music that moves you. It could only be one place. Universal Broadcasting Network. Tune in at ubnradio.com.
It's time for the Bonnie Sher Show, a whirlwind of wit, wisdom, celebrity, and the boomer life. With a little bit of this and a lot of that and so much more you don't want to miss, here's Bonnie.
Well, hello there and welcome, old friends and new. I'd like to thank Wayne Cobham for my super duper theme song. I am Bonnie Sher, and I am your host through the world of celebrity, the boomer life, and the type 1 diabetes community. If you have a question or you have a comment, and it's nice, please call us. You can call in to 323-843-2826, or you can follow us on Twitter by following hashtag BSHER Radio on Twitter. Now, everybody, please, let's talk about my guests. I am very fortunate today to have with me two super singers and two super sisters. And that would be Joyce and Pam Vincent. Hi. And we have Kyrra Richards, who is a member of the T1D community. So let's not waste any time. Go ahead, settle in, and please say hello to my first guests, Pam and Joyce Vincent.
Hi.
Yes.
Thank you, Bonnie, for having us.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh, this is a joy for me. Truthfully, a joy. Your stories knock me out. I mean, I'm not going to go into a whole age conversation. Yeah. But I did notice in my readings when you both had started to sing, and the fact that you are from Detroit, and there was this little music company that got kicked off there. I think it was something about a motor town. Yeah. Oh, I remember Motown.
Yeah,
very good.
That's a hell of a way to get your start.
Yeah.
I was reading through all of the people that you have both worked with. Not only that, but the work that you both have done on your own and that you are still doing.
Yes.
And as a boomer, I relate to that. As somebody who's in our industry, I can relate well, because what's amazing to me is the way you both are able to keep yourselves so relevant. You know, and it's one thing to be a one-hitter.
Oh, yeah.
Or even a two-hitter, you know. But I don't even know I can count as high. It's too early in the day to count that high. But is it just the two sisters, or did you have other siblings also?
3 boys.
Are they musical as well?
No.
What about mom and dad? Was it a musical household?
Dad was musical. He played bass, and he sang with quartets.
And mom just enjoyed it and pushed out the babies? Is
That's
that the deal?
That's what she did.
That's
God love her.
Pretty much.
God love her.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me ask you a couple of things. Sure. Because you both have been at this for a while, I would like both of you to give this a little thought and tell me, what is the craziest thing that ever happened to you on stage?
Oh.
Uh-oh. I see a little popping going.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I had a wardrobe malfunction during the time of our TV show, and it was pretty embarrassing, but I lived through it. So.
Yes, you did. Anything to add there, Miss Pam?
Well, the one thing that stands out for me is I was working with my group Brandy. We were doing background vocals live with people, Bryson, and the outfits were supposed to be all black. So I, black slacks and a black blazer. So rushing out of the hotel, I'm grabbing my clothes. So I grabbed my blazer, and the pants were still there at the hotel, and I had on a bright yellow jumpsuit. So everybody else had on black, and I had on a black jacket over a bright yellow jumpsuit.
So you were the queen bee?
I guess so, yeah, I was the queen bee. So yes,
I wouldn't have minded that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounds like
How long have you been living out here? When did you leave? Did you both leave Detroit at the same time to move out here?
No, I came out in 1974, and then Pam came out 10 years later. So.
And I know that the session work that you've done, I was looking over the list, and I came up with a song that I haven't heard in a very long time, but it was just it for me, and that was Johnny Taylor's Disco Lady.
Oh.
yes,
Oh.
that was me with my group Brandy.
Yes.
Those background vocals.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, we got a platinum record for that, a platinum 45. That was like the first platinum 45 that they ever awarded anyone.
Did you stay and work with Tony Orlando?
Yes.
When he went and moved to where is he
Branson?
now?
Branson.
That's the place.
Oh,
Branson.
yeah. No, he decided to go and do that on his own. And Pam and I had other things in the works that, we felt that we could not go with him.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have been a big Branson fan
No,
myself.
I don't think so. But
Well, also, I see that. Excuse me. I think
okay?
I'm fine. I choke with the best of them. Frida Payne.
oh, yeah.
Now, Frida was on the show with me, as was Sherry. I've had them on. We didn't talk about this, so I had no idea. And then I go on with names, Pam, like Aretha Franklin, Parliament, Billy Davis Jr. and Marilyn McCoo. Albert King.
Yes.
Yes.
You believe that?
Albert King. Yeah.
Albert King,
And then
yes.
there's Bobby Womack.
Oh yes.
I want your lives, okay?
Wow, I know.
I'll tell you, I don't know about the life so much, but certainly those stories.
Oh, yeah.
I think
yeah.
that what you ladies do, I mean, not only as artists on your own, but I can't think of a more difficult thing than doing those background voices and those harmonies. That's just, and it's such an art to keep your pitch.
Oh, definitely.
It is an art.
Yes, it's an art. That's
it really
for sure.
is.
So what do you
Yes.
want to do next? I mean, I know. Well, wait a second. Let's take a second here so I don't get yelled at by Rick. Let's talk Peace Project a
Oh,
second.
yes.
And tell me what your initial participation was and how this has all come together. And I know Jim's not here with us today, but he'll be on next week with
great.
me. So you get to tell the story first.
Oh, goody. Well, Rick has been talking about this project for many months. And finally, it came to fruition. Oh, I can't talk.
I cut it from me.
And, he's talked about it for a while, and then it finally has come about. And the song is wonderful. It's a song written by
Johnny Bristol.
Johnny Bristol.
Hang on in there, baby,
Yeah.
Bristol.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, talk about a great
Yeah.
song.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
yes.
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 So La La Peace song is a good song, too.
It sounds.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, and with all the things going on in the world,
Oh,
and
please.
you
We
know,
need peace.
actually, a friend of ours and a singer, and that we do lots of background work for. His daughter was one of the ones in that San Bernardino
Oh, my
massacre
goodness.
that lost her life, and so it's so it's like it's hitting too close to home.
It sure
so it's
is.
like if we can just get the word of peace out there, we all need.
Can we
need
send
peace.
this right off to Donald
know.
Trump with? Sorry. I mean, we need some peace around here.
do.
I mean,
We
all I
really
see
do.
are people
Yes.
stirring up
Oh, my goodness.
more stuff, and to what purpose?
I know it's just heartbreaking.
It really is.
I mean, this is supposed to be the United States of
Yes.
America. We are
Yeah.
supposed to hold ourselves up and out as the good nicks.
Wow.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah,
I'm embarrassed.
sad.
I know. It's like
So God love Rick for putting this together. See, Rick, I can say
Yes,
nice
yes.
things about you. Really, and it's been great for me because I've gotten an opportunity to meet people that I have long held in such high esteem as performers and entertainers, and so it's just fun. But I need to remember also that this is really serious business.
Real serious. Yes.
I was a victim when I was very, very young, and I couldn't talk about it. And this sort of made me remember what my feelings were. And in those days, you didn't talk about it, and the police didn't believe you. And what were you wearing? And what did you do to create this? But now things are different, and we can speak up. And for you all to take your precious time and your incredibly precious talents. I'm almost teary about this. Almost.
Not quite.
No, because then I'd have to fix the eye makeup.
Yes,
It
you
was hard
would.
enough doing the
Yes.
lipstick. My hat is off, and my heart is right with you. I mean, good brings good. And I am just delighted that you're here.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you for having us.
So let's move on to my next question now.
Okay.
What do you want to do now?
What I've been doing forever.
Just keep
Great.
There's just,
Great. I don't
That's
have many
it.
people
Yeah.
who can honestly say that they want to be where they are.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, that's all we know.
Sing forever, yeah.
Well,
Yes.
there's that too.
Yeah, the only thing that I would like to add is like to produce other artists, and write songs. Well, we're songwriters anyway, so
Yes.
I have a little 11-year-old girl
Awesome
that's just
kid. Awesome.
amazing, and her name is Ryan Schaefer.
Now say it again. I want to hear it.
Her name is Ryan Schaefer.
Ryan Schaefer, 11 years old.
She's
Best of
wonderful.
luck with you, but you don't get
Yes.
to open for me.
Yeah, she's great. And then and I love her too because my daughter's name is Ryan, so that makes it really like okay, I got another
Brings it
Ryan.
Is your daughter musical as well?
She is, but she didn't choose to go
Pursue
that
that.
path. Yeah,
No.
she didn't choose to. She was like, I don't want to sing, Mom. She can.
Yeah,
but
she
she
can
doesn't
sing.
want to. But
It's crazy.
that's okay.
I'm like,
That's
how can
okay.
you not want to sing?
Yeah, exactly.
See, I don't get that
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
so,
get that
but that's
either.
okay.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
things could change.
They
too.
could. They could.
Yeah,
Well,
but she
If
has to,
she wants it.
yeah,
Yeah.
right.
You
That's
know,
the thing. She has
I
to
kind
want
of
it.
take over as the Jewish mother for the world. I forget that I am not the chief decision maker, but I'd be really good. So if things start to get a little hairy here with the show,
Yeah.
I'll go into the world of decision making. Let me ask you this: what do you want to most be? Let me ask you first, Joyce. What do you want to most be remembered for?
Oh, my goodness. As being a good singer. A good singer,
And I have a feeling you're a very good soul, also.
Oh, thank you.
That came,
I'd
that
like to
that
think
comes.
so.
Well, that showed up the minute you walked in here. And Miss Pam, what do you think?
just well, besides just being a wonderful person, being nice. I mean, people
It's,
always say,
there's something to be
that's-
said for
true.
niceness.
It is.
Yeah,
Sure.
because everybody's not nice.
No, they're
but,
not.
But I think I'm a nice person. I'm happy with me.
think-
I love me.
You
Pam is a nice
what
person.
more can we ask for than to be pleased with ourselves?
That's
Then
true.
it's almost a natural occurrence for other people
Right.
to make our lives a
Yeah.
little easier. I don't have to have everybody
Right,
love
right.
me.
Right.
Right.
I mean, there's a couple people I maybe don't. Um, but I want to be known as somebody who cared. Cared enough to
Yes.
find out.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Thoughtful
You know,
and
cared
caring.
enough.
Yes.
Because what else do we have? You can have money one day and be flat busted. And I don't know
Broke.
about you two, but
Yeah.
I've certainly seen those days.
Yes.
And one thing nobody can ever take from you is your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
They
yeah,
can
just
take
be-
your car. They
Yeah.
can take
your
everything.
house.
But
exactly.
yeah,
That's right.
yeah, but they can't take your heart.
Mm.
And it's people like you who bring that forward in your music, which is something that I so identify with lyrically, what the person is saying. And when you're talking good, it's just nothing but good. So, as somebody who is a wild fan of both of yours, truthfully, thank you for making me feel so good. You're good
you're
in your
very
voices,
welcome.
you're good in your presentations, you feel it, and that's probably why you're the professionals you are. Oh, I got it now. Well, is there anything else that you ladies are working on now recording? Have you finished the recording now for La La Peace?
I think there are still a few things that Rick still wants to do, like some more vocals or something that he was talking about for Jim or something. So it's almost finished. I think there's
Okay.
just a few more things he wants
Well,
to do.
my understanding is that I am going to have the opportunity to preview this song on next week's show. So make sure you come back and you listen and you hear the song. Then it would be especially nice when you go buy the song. But right now, I'm happy if you're listening.
Yes.
So before we go to break, would you let our listeners know how they can follow you? Is there Facebook? Is there Twitter? Is there Instant Pudding? I don't know what all those things are. But
Yes. Facebook. We're both on Facebook.
are you on as the Vincent Sisters? Are you
No.
on
No,
separately in your
separate.
names?
Separate, yeah.
Yes.
I also know, I know because you told me, that for a really, really good overview of all of the work that these two women have done, you sent me to a website which is Time.
Yeah.
TME.
TME Entertainment. Yes.
And everything is there. Their
Yes.
music, their photos, their stories. I suggest highly that you take a look at that. I also suggest that you keep following this story and become a part of the story. Don't just listen to it. Please act upon it. Just be kind. Okay? That's my biggest wish for all of us is to be kind.
Yes.
Well, I thank you again. I would love to have you ladies come back and let
would
me know
love
what's
that.
going on.
Yes.
I have had such a good time with all of you in the last few weeks. Really, bless
thank
you and thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you. Bye.
Wow. Well, I'm moving something. Is that what you wanted me to move? You want all of me to move? Does Phoenix sound good? Okay, I'll hold right here. Okay, then. I think you figured out by now that you are listening to the Bonnie Sher Show. And come on in, join the conversation. Please give us a call at 323-843-2826. Follow us on Twitter, which is hashtag BSHER Radio. Coming up, a shout out from my soapbox, which is my take on who got it right and who should really be ashamed. Let's go to break now with a tune that I found featuring both Pam, and I'm going to do it again, and Joyce. Let's see if I can possibly remember a name today. I'm really sorry. I'm usually better at this. But in the meantime, they're the terrific singing sisters, and this is them singing Sisters. Take it away.
Two different faces, but in tight places. We think and we act as one. Those who seen us know that not a thing can come between us. Many men have tried to split us up, but no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the sister who comes between me and my man. Woo! All kinds of weather, we stick together, the same in the rain or sun. Two different faces, but in tight places, we think and we act as one. Those who seen us know that not a thing can come between us. Many men have tried to split us up, but no one can. Lord help the mister who comes between me and my sister. And Lord help the sister who comes between me and my man. Woo! Sisters! Ba-da-da-da-da. Sisters! Ba-da-da-da-da. Sisters! Ba-da-da. Don't you come between me and my man. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da.
I really loved that, especially because I'm an only child. Welcome back to the Bonnie Sher Show, and joining me in this segment is Kyrra Richards, a member of the T1D community. From right here in the great state of California. Welcome, Kyrra.
Thank you.
Kyrra, you're living with type 1 diabetes.
I am.
Please share your story with us.
Sure. So I actually got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes pretty late, or relatively late. I was working after college as a professional dancer in Los Angeles, and I actually went on a military tour to dance for the troops in Afghanistan. And when I came back from Afghanistan, I felt just a little bit off and hungry and super, super thirsty. And I went to the doctor and said, I cannot stop drinking water. And they said, all right, well, what do you think it is? And I said,
What do you think it is?
Exactly. Well, during our tour in Afghanistan, we were dancing in a bunch of different bases, and we would have to go on military planes and Black Hawks, and they would say, you know, there's no bathrooms on these planes. And we kept drinking water because we were in the desert dancing. And when I came back, I was saying, you know what? I keep drinking this water and having to go to the bathroom. I think what happened is I broke my bladder in Afghanistan. And my doctors are going, I don't think that's a scientific explanation. You know,
But I like it.
you know, if you hold it, that's what's supposed to happen, right? No, but anyway, so I went to the doctor, and they had an inkling that something was wrong, and they checked my blood sugar, and that was the explanation, type 1 diabetes, which there was no history in my family. I really didn't know much about it when I was diagnosed.
It's amazing how quickly we learn, though, eh?
Very quickly.
So how long has it been for you now?
Wow, it has been 8 years. It's been 8 years of diabetes.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's an odd thing to say, but you're fortunate in that what we have now so far superior to what we had when I started 49 years ago with this.
Right.
You know, testing was you saved up jugs of urine and you took them to the doctor if you were lucky enough not to drop it and break it.
Oh, goodness.
That was another thing.
Right.
They had to make it dicey on you, too. So how did that diagnosis come into play in your life? Did you stop dancing?
Well, it was really tough to be a performer and to be auditioning.
I
and
understand.
especially as a dancer and a model, auditions at themselves, it was all about your aesthetic and how you looked and the value was your physicality. And for when you're dealing with this kind of condition and trying to feel, you feel uncomfortable in your physicality and feel like there's something wrong with you. And so when you're going in front of cameras and you need to stand on the X and do a slow 360 turn in a bikini sometimes, like those things, it was really difficult to go to those auditions and feel, especially at the time when I was diagnosed, when I started using insulin, there was, rapid weight gain because your body wasn't healthy and it's trying to find a healthy body weight and those things. So it was really hard. And I did have to stop dancing just initially so I could figure out my numbers. And while I stopped dancing, that's when I kind of needed some kind of artistic outlet. And that's the way I cope with things, is through my art. And that's when I realized that what was making me so upset with the diabetes was that it just felt impersonal. It didn't feel like me. It didn't feel bright and colorful and vibrant. And so I started kind of making this fashion brand called Diabetic that makes fashionable, colorful diabetes products as an artistic outlet to really deal with the condition. So,
I can certainly relate to what you're saying.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah, and I would imagine that our T1 cohorts also have had a smattering of this kind of thinking. You talk about dancing. I was hired to dance on the American Music Awards, and it all happened real quickly. And I think last minute they called, and I had to go downtown to whatever.
Of course.
And I walked in, and they were just about to start, and hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Right.
And the next words out of my mouth were, "Does anybody have any sugar?" I went into a ridiculous reaction walking in.
Oh,
Needless to say, I did not dance on the American Music Awards.
Oh.
They dumped me. But yeah, and it's
tough.
It's like something that we've held so dear to us. See, it's those kinds of things.
Yes.
It wasn't so much about, although when I was hospitalized that first time, I told them they didn't have enough people in the hospital to hold me down long enough that I would give myself.
That's
oh,
right.
No,
You were
no,
going to get
no.
up and dance away.
You guys are kidding about this. You don't
Right.
mean it. But I handled that part pretty well. And, I had heard that there very few limitations. Well, that also depends on what you do.
Right.
If you are a jet pilot, you're going to have some limitations. If you're a performer, you're going to have some limitations.
Right.
But what I think is just terrific is the way that you took caca. Okay.
Yeah.
And turned it into something with design, delight, delight for those who use them, and delight for yourself for knowing that you created this. Would you have ever created it had you not been a type 1?
Absolutely not.
So,
No.
I mean, I'm sorry, but,
Right.
I have to find those things because otherwise one tends to get bummed.
Right. It's kind of a creative coping, Exactly.
Well, I mentioned this to another type 1 just the other day. There's a part of me that believes that even though we were touched with this, maybe God left his hand on our shoulders just another
love that.
second or so.
Right.
And gave us very special talents.
Yeah. No, that's a great way to
Right?
look at it.
It's
Yeah.
that kind of all. So tell us, I'm interested in this. Tell me what kind of products Diabetic produces.
Sure. So we have, like I said, it's a diabetes fashion brand. So we're trying to bring some chicness into diabetes. So this is, for instance, when you get a glucose meter, a lot of time, as a diabetes community understands, it comes with this usually black, flimsy little case that
Little
you hold your
nylon.
meter in, your test strips, and it just oppressed me. It was something I was like, that feels like I'm a medical patient. Like I don't like feeling that that's my identity. I'm a dancer, I'm a performer, I'm a young woman in Los Angeles, and that doesn't speak to me. So this is one of my products, and it's a cute little handbag, and I have my my lifestyle needs in one. Here's my cell phone on the back, and then I open it up, and here is all my medical products in here. So it allows me to keep my lifestyle, my diabetes all as one. It doesn't have to stop because you have diabetes. So you have different colors. It's for men, women, and children.
Well, I also love that you don't have to go digging through a handbag to find everything you
the
need.
black
which is
holes that are handbags.
well, that's what I do for a living. I just look for shit. Yes.
Right,
Sorry.
exactly.
And it comes in gold.
Oh, yeah, we have all colors and shapes and sizes, and that's the fun part of it, getting all these different designs and hearing from the community and what they love. I love talking to the community through, knowledge of our products and going and meeting the community, hearing what they like to.
Does Myabetic have its own website?
It does. Myabetic.com, myabetic.com. And that name came from the fact that if you are a diabetic or person with diabetes, but I wanted to personalize it. So it's Myabetic. Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. What about, is there anything... Oh, wait a minute. You could put your receiver in there too, right?
You can, absolutely. Yep. If you use those glucose sensors, which I do, and definitely I'm relying on them. I definitely use my sensors and put them in these pockets.
That's a great product.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
how can people follow you and what's going on, or if they want to relate to a particular issue, or they had an idea, or they love what you did, but they're having this party, can they get one specially made? I mean, how much do you want to interface with your people? It sounds like that's really your
all the time.
Your deal. Yeah, great.
We make it for people with diabetes. So in order to make it for you, we got to hear from you too. So we love engaging with our community, and we following us on Facebook and Twitter. All of our handles are Myabetic. So Facebook, it's Myabetic. Twitter, Myabetic. Instagram, Myabetic. You can see beautiful photos of the community.
Well, that's what I'm going to be checking out later.
There you go.
I have to do a little shopping.
Exactly.
I have that itch.
Shopping is always fun.
So, okay, back to your diabetes now. So, you've told us that you use a sensor, and I see that you have a pump.
Yes.
Have you used those from the get-go, or were you ever on MDI?
MDI. When I was diagnosed in the middle of my auditioning career, and I didn't want the tubes and stuff from a pump, so I did use my insulin pens as shots primarily, and it took me a long time to mentally prepare for a pump. It was just something that it was a hard adjustment to first admit that you have any kind of physical condition and that something might be wrong physically, and then to understand the diabetes, and then on top of it, have it be shown to the world.
Well, I do think that you're very brave to have not only, brilliant to come up with the concept, but brave. Really, really brave.
I think there's a lot of brave people in our community.
Well, it took me a long time to come out on this. For me, it was I didn't want potential producers, directors to have any other reason not to want to hire me.
Right. And I kept it quiet from my agents for a bit and said, I'm sick. I'm sick when I had those days of really highs or lows and those things. And admitting that something, might distort your image in some way, especially in Hollywood, is a big deal, so.
Yeah, but you showed them, didn't you?
I'm still trying to.
Don't ever stop.
Thank you.
Are just...
Well, you're an inspiration for that as well. Thank you.
I appreciate that. That's my art coming through. I can't do what I used to do, really, either, but I found another way to get my heart out there.
Yeah.
And before I did this show, I must say, I mean, I've been a diabetic for 49 years, and I knew one other type
Yeah.
1. One!
Yeah,
One! All of a sudden, I know a lot of you, and I'm just delighted. We are a very interesting sector of folks.
it's been, and that's one thing, like you mentioned, that being diagnosed I was diagnosed in 2008, but social media was out there, and that was really the only way to connect with them as a person that was just recently diagnosed. That wasn't available before that. So
No.
I'm very fortunate that I was able to find groups and connect with them, and now there's conferences and shows, amazing shows like this. But yeah, it's been nice to reach out and find people and hear people who are also living and thriving with diabetes.
Well, I am so glad that you found me in my show,
I
and
am
that
too.
I've had the opportunity to meet you and to hear this.
Thank you.
Do you have any ideas for anything else you might want to do in the future that you would like to share?
For my medic or just me?
Just
in
you.
life?
You are more than a type 1.
Absolutely.
So tell me about the rest. What else you want to be?
Well, I still love being in the art community. I still dance. I teach dance a lot. That's my heart. On the weekends, I judge national dance competitions. I would love to have a family someday. Maybe someday soon, and just be involved as many things as I possibly can. I'm loving living in LA. I love New York. I love fashion. I love the arts.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from California, Northern California.
Uh-huh. Well, that's why you're so cool.
There you go. That's why.
That's why. I know those Northern California types. Very cool. Well, I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you.
In everything that you set out to do. There's always a chair here waiting for you anytime you want to come back. And who knows? We'll see what we can put together, and maybe we can get more people using your bags, because I certainly know that I have to take a look and see what's possible.
Thank you so much for having me here.
It's my pleasure. Kyrra, thank you so much for sitting in with me today.
Thank you.
If any of our fellow Type 1s would like the opportunity to be my Type 1 co-host, it's very simple. Write me, call me, tell me. You can reach me at bonniesher.com. And that's how easy this really is to make it happen. And I look forward to speaking to all of you. It's really just that easy, okay? So try and do it for me. And I hate to end this segment, but it is time for my soapbox. The first thing I need to do is to give another shout out to Kent Schnackenberg. He's the gentleman that I spoke of last week, who has offered to donate $5 to each, in the name of each person who clicks on his Facebook page, which is, and here's where I goofed last time. This time I'm going to spell it properly so maybe you can find him. Kent, I'm sorry I screwed up. But what it is you're looking for is Team Schnack, which is spelled SCHNAK. So please, he's willing to donate up to $50,000. So please, go to his page, give it a like. That's another $5 in the bucket. Kent, I apologize for screwing it up the first time around, but there was no way I couldn't clean this up for you. Thank you so much. And I'd also like to mention, Kent is not a diabetic. He has a feeling for the children. He does have a young family member who's a T1. And what he presented to me was, Bonnie, it's about the kids. So I'm an old kid, so I'm thinking it's for me too. So Kent, again, bless you and thank you. Now, this is something that's really troubling me. And as a type 1 diabetic, as well as a citizen of the planet, I just read a story that in 2010, a New York jury awarded $17.5 million to former New York City inmate Jose Vargas because he was denied his insulin for 52 hours. He had been arrested on a minor drug charge. According to the New York Daily News report, Vargas, who has had T1, had seizures and suffered brain damage. The officers decided that he had type 2 because apparently they went to medical school, you see, and that he should have been controlling his blood sugar levels better. What? But it goes on. In 2012, the family of Deborah Brayard sued Maricopa County officials in Arizona, including the sheriff's office, led by their outspoken Sheriff Joseph Arpaio, for wrongful death. Brallard is a woman with type 1 who was picked up on a drug charge and was denied insulin for 3 days despite pleading for help and showing physical signs of distress. According to the report, law enforcement officials mistakenly believed that the symptoms that she was exhibiting were due and related to illegal drug withdrawal. This woman went into a coma and never regained consciousness. And the third story here is in 2013, Miss Sarah Tibbetts died 2 days after being booked for marijuana possession and credit card fraud in Irving, Texas. Ms. Tibbetts, who had had brushes with the law in the past, always had made it a habit, strange story, to tell the police and the officials that she is a type 1 and that she has a need for insulin. Now, actually, in Texas, you can buy insulin without a prescription. So what goes on here is that she didn't have her insulin. She needed insulin. The prison people decided that they would call her mother, not a pharmacy, mind you, but her mother. Turns out the mother was in California, and told them that they needed to find another way of getting her life-saving medication. Well, the next day, Tibbetts was found dead in her cell. One prison official told reporters that they knew she needed insulin before she died. You know, this is a study that I would like to get into further. These are people. I mean, what do you do if you have an insulin reaction? Are they going to bring you what you need? Or is this their way of weeding through? You know, I don't care if they were murderers. And you don't. I can't. I'm sorry, but I just can't. You might want to find out what the laws are like in your state in terms of having access to insulin when you need it, and what the hell can be done to make these prison officials take responsibility. They aren't doctors. And so I think that needs to be investigated immediately. Can you imagine, like, getting stopped for parking tickets and being taken in? Because I know they do that here. And you're taken in and they won't give you access to your life-sparing medication. I think it sucks. Anyway, you might feel differently. And if you have an opinion or you would like to sound off, please go to my blog. That's BonnieSher.com. They're talking to me. I forgot my name a second. And sound off, /blog, sound off. And that's that on that. Well, that's my show for today. And I hope you'll return next week for another 50 minutes. A trip through the world of Bonnie, through the world of being a type 1 diabetic, the boomers, and celebrity. Until then, please visit BonnieSher.com. And I also appear on Bonnie Sings Lena, which is my fan page on Facebook. I'd also like to put out a special note of thanks to Corey Bone for creating yet another beautiful piece of jewelry and outfitting me with these freshwater pearls, where he has also added beautiful sapphire beads. You can find him online. What you need to do, come to BonnieSher.com, drop down to the bottom. You'll see a way to contact Corey at Crown and Anchor Jewelry. And I bet there's something there that you're going to love too. Finally, for my friends old and new, it's probably come to your attention now that Sammy Davis Jr. was a very, very important part of my life. He was my friend. He was my mentor. And, well, Sammy, if there are speakers up in heaven, this one's for you. Take us out.
Whether I'm right or whether I'm wrong, whether I find a place in this world or never belong, I gotta be me. I gotta be me. What else can I be but what I am? I want to live, not merely survive. And I won't give up this dream of life that keeps me alive. I gotta be me. I gotta be me. The dream that I see makes me what I am. That faraway prize, a world of success, is waiting for me if I heed the call. I won't settle down, won't settle for less, as long as there's a chance that I can have it all. I'll go it alone, that's how it must be. I can't be right for somebody else if I'm not right for me. I gotta be free. I've gotta be free. Daring to try to do it or die. I've gotta be me. I'll go it alone. That's how it must be. I can't be right for somebody else